Greetings, my name is Frank Johnson. I'm the race director for the Wild Driftless Adventure Race, and I'm here with your 2025 Wild Driftless course preview. We're very excited to be bringing the race this year to Clayton County, Iowa, Delaware County, Iowa, Backbone State Park, the Strawberry Point area, and in particular to be hosting the race in our first year out of Camp Ewalu. Without further ado, let's jump in and give you a little taste of what these 9-hour participants will be facing. The race will begin with a prologue, and this prologue is what we're calling a rainbow prologue. It's a orienteering section where teams have to choose how to get one checkpoint of each color. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, a lot of different kinds of routes and combinations, and so we're going to get people thinking right away. And we're also, I think, going to get teams separated pretty quickly based on which routes they take. From there, they'll continue on foot with an orienteering leg at Ewalu. There's actually 6 checkpoints on this orienteering leg, but we expect that most teams will only get 1 or 2 of them because these checkpoints will also be available on leg 6 when they have their bikes. And so it'll be interesting to see who gets what and who skips. Again, some thinking right away. Finally, they'll hop on their bikes for leg 2, and they'll begin riding south toward Backbone State Park. This is mostly gravel and some pavement as they head through Dundee, and then they get to the highlight of where the highlights of the course start, which is at Backbone State Park. The paddle will be on Backbone Lake and then up the Maquoketa River with 3 checkpoints and a marshal point. And that first marshal point will be worth 2 points. It will require them dragging and or carrying their canoes for about a quarter mile to get there. And then they're going to have a pirate-themed treasure hunt with a old school pirate map. When they're done there, they'll head back to TA3 and begin on the mountain bike. And this section is all trail on the West Lake Trail at Backbone State Park, which will be fun and challenging and a little bit of everything on that trip. Finally, they'll hit leg 5, which is undoubtedly the queen stage of this year's race, this big trek nav with a lot of very interesting locations at Backbone. Probably the most well-known location at Backbone is the Backbone itself, which is checkpoint number 13. They're going to get views off to their left and right about 100 feet above the river, which is going to be something else. There's also another interesting checkpoint on this leg, which is the cave checkpoint, number 25. They're going to be spelunking for a bit as they head about 200 feet back into that cave. Lots of other good views along the Maquoketa River as they go on their way back to the TA. And there's also a rappel on this section at MP2 that's a 100-foot sheer rock wall that they'll have some fun with. The last leg of the race is the bike and trek leg on the way back to Ewalu. It's a long leg, potentially. There's 3 checkpoints as they make their way back, including checkpoint number 27, which is the strawberry, the world's largest strawberry in Strawberry Point. From there, teams will head back to Ewalu and get as many of those checkpoints as they're able and have time for on their way back to the start-finish, which is at the same location as the start, which is the Creation Center at Camp Ewalu. That's the course. That's your 2025 Wild Driftless course, roughly 45 miles of travel, lots to see out there, lots of checkpoints, lots of really cool locations. We're very excited for people to see it. If this seems like the kind of thing you're into, then join us next year as we bring our 2026 Wild Driftless course back to Clayton County, somewhere to be announced. Have a good one.